Hey, it's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and in today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to play Drunken Sailor, which is a simple 2-chord song. This could be one of the first things that you learn on guitar on day one. Before we jump into it, I have a chord chart for this one on my website, so you can just visit the link down below after you watch this lesson, and then you'll have something to go by. It has all the stuff we cover in this lesson all laid out in a really simple way, and you can print it off and have at her. Either way, let's just take a quick look at what we'll be learning. 1, 2, 3.
What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we do with the drunken sailor early in the morning?
If you want to learn it in that more intermediate or advanced way, please let me know in the comments down below, and I can always make a lesson for it where we add another chord and have a little more fun with it. Anyways, it can be as simple as that. If you are completely new to guitar and you need help like holding and all that stuff, holding the guitar, tuning it, I have a crash course completely free on my website, no strings attached. I'll put a link to that, and that way you can get all the fundamentals and you can learn a couple really simple songs, even easier than this one actually. Anyways, let's jump in with our chord shapes. Our first one is E minor, and that's a 2-finger chord. I'm going to put my index finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, and I'm going to put my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. So the A string is the 2nd thickest string. We have the thickest string, 2nd fret of the 2nd thickest string with my index. Then my middle finger is just underneath it on the 2nd fret of the next string. And the key here with this one is to have your thumb in a good spot. Make it a little bit lower, get your elbow out. Make sure your wrist isn't getting all bent out of shape. You can kind of put your guitar a little bit higher. I find that makes it a lot easier. Bringing it in more towards your body. We have a bit more control there. Curl your fingers as best you can. That's our E minor chord. And then from there, we're going to switch into a D chord. And for that, we start by putting our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. That's the 2nd thinnest string at the 3rd fret. And then we can pivot off that finger. We move our index to the 2nd fret on the G string, the 3rd thinnest string, and then our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the thinnest string. So for me, the real trick switching between E minor and D is to use my ring finger. You don't have to like press them all at the same time, but I kind of aim to get my ring finger down first, and then I can pivot off of it. Makes it a little bit easier. And then going back, I just move my 2 fingers towards the E minor shape and I lift my ring. And you can just switch between those chords. I have a whole method in that free crash course called the chord switching game. The first step is to just silently switch and just work on getting the right spots, just back and forth. And then we play the chord switching game, which involves some strumming, some counting. It's awesome because not only does it build up the muscle memory to play the chords, but it also helps your rhythm too. That's a missing key element for a lot of people. Anyways, we have those 2 chords, E minor and D, and that's all we need for this tune. And I'm going to write out the chords here. And the chord order is pretty straightforward for the most part, except at the very ending. So let's count our way through it. You can always just watch, see what happens, and then rewind and try this with me afterwards. Starting out on E minor, going to play 4 downstrokes per chord symbol. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So be sure to count it out, downstrokes only, slow and steady. That way your chord hand is doing its job. And then we can learn some strumming. And for this one, I've picked a very simple but effective strumming pattern. I'll slow it down a little bit. Here's what I'm doing. So you'll see that I'm still just playing downstrokes, but I alternate between what I would call a root strum that aims for the root or the bottom of the chord shape, and then a full downstroke. So root, down, that's it. You know, you just, instead of playing all downstrokes, on beat 1 we play a root, on beat 2 it's a downstroke, on beat 3 it's a root, and on beat 4 it's a downstroke. And that is our strumming pattern. It couldn't get any simpler, but it is still really important to kind of count it out as you do it, playing that E minor chord, root, down, root, down, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, we do that strumming pattern 2 times on E minor, then we do it 2 times on D. And for D, the root, you're going to aim for the middle strings. We don't want to get the thickest string. We want to get the next ones. Root, down, root, down. And that's it. That's all there is to it as far as the strumming is concerned. So let's try this together nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we do with the drunken sailor early in the morning?
Now at this point, you'll want to just do that a whole bunch till you're very comfortable with it, and then you can try to add some singing. I'm also going to teach the melody for this song in a subsequent lesson because this is a great melody to learn. Don't forget, I have that free chord chart on my website, so you can just print this off, follow along. All the counting, everything is there. All the stuff that we covered in this lesson, you know, it's basically a paper form that you can go through at your own pace. So please don't forget about that. Also, if you're newer to guitar and you want to get the fundamentals down, I have that free crash course that's going to teach you your first 2 songs, as well as all of the stuff you need to get a solid foundation. But if you want to just cut to the chase, I also have a complete beginner's course, Learn Guitar Once and For All, on my website. And that one takes you from absolute beginner to confident strummer. Somebody who can just show up at the campfire or at the family event, the barbecue, you know, and just play through, strum a bunch of tunes, look some up online, play some more. You know, it's an awesome skill to have. For me, that's the best use that I get out of guitar, you know, like playing gigs on electric guitar and then strumming acoustic tunes with my friends. Those are like my 2 favorite things to do pretty much of all, right? So I definitely want to help you also enjoy that. Anyways, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoy learning guitar with me, I'd really appreciate it if you could take a moment to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. Yeah, otherwise have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.